Chapter 41. Since it is your plan, I feel relieved. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Is this all your own plan? Chen Mo flipped through the plan a few times and found that he couldn't understand it, so he simply asked the question he was most concerned about. This Fong Chang had planned before and successfully brought the company into a loss-making state. Presumably as long as he confirmed that the plan was made by him, there would be no problem. Yes, Mr. Chen. Fong Chang nodded anxiously. He didn't know why Mr. Chen asked this, but he still answered truthfully. Then there's no problem. Just choose the one you think is better among these three options. After receiving Fong Chang's confirmation, Chen Mo nodded with relief, and then directly returned the plan in his hand to Fong Chang. If you let him choose, he might even choose the most profitable plan. Fong Chang looked at the plan in his hand and was moved. He didn't expect Mr. Chen to trust him so much. Thank you, Mr. Chen. He thanked her gratefully and then selected one of the plans. This plan is an FPS shooting game. Compared with current FPS shooting games, it has designed many new gameplay methods. He believes that as long as this game is made, it will definitely break the status quo of current FPS games. The most important thing is that he saw another person on a game design exchange website who had similar ideas. This made him very anxious, so he directly selected this game plan. Mr. Chen, then choose this one. Take a closer look. With that said, he took out one of the plans and gave it to Chen Mo again. However, Chen Mo did not take over the plan to check, and said very casually. I won't read the plan. Just have an idea. Tell me how much budget you need. The budget is his biggest concern. Mr. Chen, the pre-production cost of this plan is about 300,000 yuan, but it does not include future testing and publicity expenses. Fong Chang said carefully that 300,000 yuan is the minimum budget for making this game. I wonder if Mr. Chen will agree. Do you only need 300,000? Chen Mo thought for a while and said directly. I'll give you a budget of 500,000, and you must make this game a success. There are not many opportunities to spend money like this, so you have to spend more. Fong Chang was stunned for a moment, and then moved forward to thank him. Thank you, Mr. Chen. I will definitely work hard to make this game a good one. He didn't expect that Mr. Chen would trust him so much and gave him an extra budget of 200,000 yuan without saying a word. After so many years of planning, this was the first time he met a boss who trusted him so much. A scholar dies for a confidant. Fong Chang secretly decided in his heart that he must build this game well and create benefits for the company. Okay, the plan has been decided. You can take care of the rest by yourself. I will leave first. When Chen Mo saw that there was nothing else to do, he got up and left. After all, he couldn't help much by staying here. Just let Fong Chang play freely. With his ability, there is no problem in losing money, it is just a matter of more or less. Chen Mo thought so in his heart and left Sang Shui game happily. This time, another 500,000 was spent, and the system funds at this time were only over 1.2 million. The budget for renovating the staff dormitories has not yet been determined. According to my own budget, the cost of this renovation will be around 800,000 yuan. As a result, there are only about 400,000 left in the system. The employees of the garment factory will be able to receive their second salary immediately, and the 400,000 yuan will be spent quickly during a company team building. I didn't expect that spending money would go so smoothly this time. It didn't take long for the system funds to be almost spent. Late at night, Jiangqing University, Shen Ro returned to the dormitory after finishing her part-time job. You're back, how are you? Did you do what you did in the TV series today? Zhang Lan suddenly became curious when she saw Shen Ro coming back. Last night, she saw Shen Ro secretly watching the TV series she was talking about. With Shen Ro's character, since she decided to watch that TV series, she must be prepared to learn. Since ancient times, bosses and secretaries and assistants have been a very ambiguous topic. She really wanted to know how the young boss would react if Shen Ro did the things she did on TV. With Shen Ro's good looks, she should be very excited. Only part of it. Shen Ro spread herself directly on the seat and said casually, indeed, she only did part of it. The other part was not that she didn't want to do it, but that she simply couldn't do it. For example, tie a tie for your boss. The key is that Mr. Chen always wears casual sportswear, and there is no need to wear a tie at all. How was it? How did your boss react? Zhang Lan asked curiously, with a gossipy expression on his face. No reaction, just a little surprised. Chen Mo recalled Mr. Chen's reaction at that time, and it seemed that apart from some surprise, there seemed to be no other expression. That's it. Zhang Lan pouted and sat back on the bed with a disappointed look on his face. Chen Mo looked at Zhang Lan's disappointed look and was speechless. Did she really hope that something would happen? But she quickly thought of something and added. The expression didn't show any reaction, but they gave me another salary increase. Another salary increase? How much is the increase this time? Zhang Lan looked surprised. She remembered that Chen Mo had just received a salary increase a while ago, and this time she received another salary increase. This must be a bit frequent. 2,000. Chen Mo replied casually. It's 2,000 again, so your salary now has reached 10,000. Zhang Lan opened her mouth. In less than a month, her salary increased from 6,000 to 10,000. If Chen Mo hadn't told her this, she wouldn't have believed it at all. This boss is running a company and is clearly doing charity. How can any operating company give employees a salary increase like this? On the second day, early morning. Chen Mo came to the company early because there was a particularly important matter today, corporal punishment for those employees who performed well. Oh. Not corporal punishment. It's exercise. Nowadays, the physical fitness of employees is too poor and they need to exercise to strengthen their physical fitness. Everyone stand together. Li Shen stood in front of the team and directed the employees to line up in order. Some time ago, he was appointed as the production director of the workshop, so he is responsible for all matters in the workshop, and this is something that Chen Mo regrets very much. It was this guy who caused his second settlement failure. If he had known that Li Shen was an old man, he would not have appointed him, but now that he has been appointed, he cannot change his position at will without reasonable reasons, but the position cannot be changed, and punishment is inevitable. Oh. It's exercise. Mr. Chen, all the employees have been assembled. Li Shen organized his team and quickly ran to Chen Mo to report. When Chen Mo heard this, he looked at the team and found that several key people had already arrived, and smiled slightly. Chapter 42. How can this be corporal punishment? You are listening at novelfull.audio. All the employees looked at Mr. Chen in front of the team, their faces full of curiosity, wondering what Mr. Chen had gathered them here for. Brother Yan, what is Mr. Chen going to do? The new salesman Wei Yan looked at Wei Yan beside him and asked in a low voice. Wei Yan also looked at the team in front with a puzzled look. He had just received the news and didn't know what Mr. Chen was doing by gathering all the employees here, but he thought it had nothing to do with their salesman. I don't know, but it should be about some workshop matters, which has little to do with us. You will meet the several customers I gave you later, and remember to bring samples. Okay, Brother Yan. Wei Yan nodded. At this moment, Mr. Chen's voice came from the front. There are some things to announce today. Through observation during this period of time, I found that everyone's physical condition is now in a subhealthy state, which is a very dangerous signal. The body is the capital of the revolution. Only with a good body can we live and work normally. Chen Mo's eyes wandered around Li Shen, Wang Maoyan, and Wei Yan one by one, and the corners of his mouth slowly rose. So, I decided that the company will implement a morning exercise system in the future, and we will have to run for half an hour every morning. However, considering that everyone is very tired at work, everyone can attend morning exercises 3 days a week, but I will select a few pacemakers, and the pacemakers need to attend every day. Chen Mo paused here, looking at the employees and the team whispering to each other, looking at their expressions. It seems that they are discussing who the pacemakers are. Continue to speak. Let me announce the list of pacemakers: Li Shen, Wei Yan, Wang Maokai. The voice fell. First, there were waves of relief in the crowd, and then every employee looked at Li Shen and others, with a hint of gloating. Mr. Chen, I can't run. Wang Maokai raised his hand tremblingly in the team and said carefully. You have to run more if you can't run. Only by persisting, your body will become healthier and healthier. Chen Mo smiled and admonished, thinking that I let you run because you can't run, so that you can make trouble for me. Okay, let's stop here. The running route is tentatively set to run 10 laps around the workshop. Let's start. Everyone listened to Chen Mo's words and began to run reluctantly. Li Shen and Wang Maoyan looked at each other and ran to the front of the team helplessly to lead the race. Wei Yan, why are you still standing there? Chen Mo looked around and found that Wei Yan was still standing not far away without moving. Mr. Chen, I don't need to run anymore. I have to meet a client later. Wei Yan walked over slowly and smiled flatteringly. Chen Mo narrowed his eyes slightly when he heard it. Meet a client, how could I let you meet a client? He said in a deep tone. Wei Yan, you can run for business anytime, but you can't be careless about your health. Go and run. But Wei Yan still wanted to fight for it, but looking at Mr. Chen's serious expression, he finally gave up helplessly. He hurriedly trotted 2 steps and caught up with Li Shen and Wang Maokai who were leading in front. I couldn't help but sigh in my heart. Mr. Chen is so good to his employees. For the sake of their health, he even puts business at the end. Mr. Chen, since it is a collective activity for the company's employees, I will run with them. Shenro looked at the team running far ahead, thought for a while and said. Just volunteer, do what you can. Chen Mo looked at Shenro's well-proportioned figure and said lightly, running can indeed exercise the body. If Shenro wants to run, he has no need to refuse. But he roughly calculated that running 10 laps around the playground is at least 2 kilometers. Worried that Shenro could not run down, he specially reminded her. Don't worry, Mr. Chen, I usually exercise regularly, and running 10 laps is not a problem. Shenro said confidently, and then quickly caught up with the team in front. This is not her boasting, but when she works part-time every day, in order to avoid being late, she often has to run a distance. After a while, Wang Maokai trotted with heavy steps, beads of sweat on his forehead quickly slid down, and he kept panting. Li Shen, what's wrong? I can't hold on any longer. This is only the 3rd lap. Li Shen panted and replied with difficulty. The pace of his feet was easier than Wang Maocai's. With my body, running 3 laps is already a miracle. Wang Maokai looked at his bloated figure, ran for a distance, and stopped with one hand on his waist. No, I really can't run anymore. Looking at Mr. Chen who was counting in front, he walked over tiredly. Mr. Chen, I really can't run anymore. Chen Mo looked at the panting Wang Maokai and felt relieved. However, his expression was still very serious and he said seriously. It doesn't matter if you can't run, you can walk. Mr. Chen, it takes a long time to walk, there are things to do in the cafeteria, why don't we just leave it like this? Wang Maokai said pleadingly, in his current state, even walking would be very strenuous. Don't worry about the cafeteria, running is the real thing, go ahead, even if you walk you have to finish 10 laps. Chen Mo reached out and patted Wang Maokai on the shoulder, encouraging him. Wang Maokai had no choice but to continue running. No, should be leaving. Soon after, one after another, some people began to run away and chose to walk. These employees usually lack exercise, and most of them can't stick to their choices after the 5th lap. It seems that this activity needs to be continued. Chen Mo touched his chin and thought to himself, and he also thought of a good way to spend money. In the future, a company employee sports meeting can be held, and those at the top will receive prizes. As for the prizes, buying some expensive items such as mobile phones, computers, and electrical appliances, plus the costs of hosting sports events and renting venues, is definitely a huge expense. Boss, everyone can't run anymore. Let's stop here today. At this moment, Wei Yan came over covered in sweat and said breathlessly. Chen Mo looked at the embarrassed Wei Yan and at the panting Li Shen in the distance, and the corners of his mouth couldn't help but raise. These old men finally breathed a sigh of relief. How could it be so easy to just stop like this? This is the first time you exercise. It's normal to be tired, but don't give up. If you stick to it for a few days, you'll get used to it. Keep running. Even if you can't run, you have to finish 10 laps. Look at Shenro, a girl is still persisting. why are you so embarrassed? Chen Mo said, pointing at Chen Mo, who was still trotting in the distance. He was very surprised at this. He didn't expect that this weak-looking girl could persevere until now, and she was more perseverant than those male employees. But everyone has to work for a while. If you are too tired, it may affect your work efficiency. It affects work efficiency well. Chen Mo's eyes lit up when he heard this. If his work efficiency decreases, he will produce fewer clothes, which means he will earn less money from the clothes. Thinking of this, Chen Mo became more determined to do morning exercises. However, in order to make these employees more active in their morning exercises, it seems necessary to announce the employee sports meeting that they just thought of. Chen Mo glanced at the employees in the distance who were waiting for the results of Wei Yan's inquiry, and cleared his throat. Chapter 43. The decoration plan was passed so simply. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Everyone should stick to it. There is no harm in running to keep fit. Moreover, the company will hold employee sports meetings in the future, and the employees with the highest rankings will receive generous rewards. For example, mobile phones, computers, and other practical appliances. Chen Mo said loudly. Sure enough, after hearing the rewards, all the employees put away their tired looks, gritted their teeth and started to jog. When Wei Yan heard what Mr. Chen said, he knew it was useless, so he turned around and joined the lap team. How about Xiao Yang, are the design and budget ready? Chen Jun came to Wang Yang's workstation and asked curiously. Well, it's done. Wang Yang yawned tiredly and said feebly, in order to complete the design plan and budget as soon as possible, he stayed up all night last night. Let me see. Chen Jun leaned over and asked curiously. When Wang Yang heard this, he didn't hide it and directly opened a folder. Wang Jun first looked at the design drawings and found no problems, so he opened the budget sheet directly. His expression was relatively calm at first, but after seeing the final budget price, he became silent. 930,000. A staff dormitory actually had a budget of 930,000 yuan. Moreover, he took a special look at the materials used by Wang Yang and found that all the materials were made of the highest grade and most environmentally friendly materials. Even the electrical appliances were made of big brand electrical appliances. The 930,000 yuan was actually spent without any falsehoods, but the key is the budget of 930,000. Will customers really choose it? Chen Jun looked doubtful, but he didn't dare to say anything about it. After all, he had the experience of being slapped in the face last time, so he chose to remain silent this time. How's it going, Brother Jun? Wang Yang saw that Chen Jun had not moved for a long time, and asked with some anxiety, thinking that there was something wrong with his plan. It's nothing, the plan is good, but the material configuration in the budget is what the customer requires. Chen Jun shook his head first, and then asked tactfully. Mr. Chen doesn't require any brand, but if he does, he must use a big brand. Is that so? Then send it to the customer to see what they think. Be careful not to make the plan too rigid. Tell them that they can make fine adjustments if they are not satisfied. Okay, Brother Jun. Wang Yang nodded and sent the prepared plan via email. Seeing this, Chen Jun patted Wang Yang on the shoulder and turned back to his workstation. He calculated in his mind that if Wang Yang completed this order, the commission would be enough to cover several renovations he had done. Why? Couldn't help but sigh. Now he suddenly remembered a popular saying on the internet, I'm not only afraid of my brother's hardship, but also afraid of my brother driving a Land Rover. Although he and Wang Yang were not brothers, their mood at this time was completely consistent with them. In the office, Chen Mo drank the coffee prepared by Chen Mo and thought about the misery of Wei Yan and others after finishing their run, and felt happy for a while. But Wei Yan, even though he was so tired, took a shower and went back to see his clients. It's really not worry-free at all. We have to think of a way. We can't let him go on like this. After all, with Wei Yan's business capabilities and the quality of the clothing in the workshop, as long as he works hard, he is not afraid of not having orders at all. Find a good reason. It can not only prevent Wei Yan from running the business, but also be judged as not violating the rules by the system. Chen Mo fell into deep thought. Mr. Chen, the decoration plan from the decoration company has been sent over. I printed a copy for you to take a look at. Chen Mo came over and handed the printed plan to Chen Mo. Is it done yet? Chen Mo didn't expect that the decoration plan would be completed so quickly. I don't know what the budget will be for this renovation plan. I opened the design drawing casually and looked at the plan. It was basically the same as my requirements, so I skipped it and opened the decoration budget. Look at the number 930,000 above. Chen Mo nodded with satisfaction. Wang Yang did not disappoint him. The budget he gave was tens of thousands higher than he expected. Good. Now, after excluding the 930,000 yuan decoration fee, the system funds are less than 300,000 yuan. The remaining money is just enough to pay the employees' next month's salary. Okay, just follow the requirements above and tell them that the decoration fee will be paid in full later. He closed the decoration plan and handed it back to Chen Mo. Okay, Mr. Chen. Chen Mo nodded and accepted the plan, but she was very surprised. It was a decoration budget of 930,000 yuan, and Mr. Chen actually agreed without blinking, and it was paid in full. She found that no matter what Mr. Chen did, he never liked to default on payments and would never pay in installments if he could pay in full. Qinglin decoration. Wang Yang was sitting in front of his workstation with an anxious look on his face. He had already sent the plan to him for a while, and he didn't know whether the other party was satisfied with his plan. Don't think too much. Submit the plan. Renovation of a company like this requires a process, and a decision will not be given so quickly. Based on my experience, there will be no answer until tomorrow. Seeing Wang Yang's anxious look, Chen Jun stepped forward and patted Wang Yang on the shoulder, comforting him. I understand, Brother Jun. Wang Yang glanced at Chen Jun gratefully. He also knew that the plan would not be answered so quickly, but he still couldn't avoid anxiety in his heart. Let's go. I don't have anything to do today and it's almost time to get off work. Let's go play a ball and relax. Chen Jun thought for a while and said. When Wang Yang heard this, he knew that the people playing ball with Chen Jun were also people in the company. He wanted to integrate him into the company. After all, he had just joined the company not long ago. Apart from these people in the design department, there were not many people in other departments. Just as he was about to nod in agreement, the email address on his computer suddenly flashed. He had been waiting for the email message, so he subconsciously opened the email. When I saw the sender of the mailbox, I was stunned for a moment. It turned out to be from Assistant Shen. It seems that the decoration plan has come to fruition. Brother Jun, I've got a message back over there on the decoration plan. Looking at the email sent, Wang Yang first turned around and talked to Wang Jun. Really? This is a good thing. Open it and see what they think. Chen Jun said with a smile, but there was some hesitation in his heart. Most of the people who usually reply so quickly are not very satisfied with the plan and directly reject it without even looking at it. Wang Yang nodded and quickly opened the email. How's it going? What's the reply over there? Seeing Wang Yang looking at the email in a daze, his suspicions were confirmed in his heart. Maybe the budget is too high. After all, when decorating an employee dormitory, as long as the equipment is adequate and the safety is up to standard, it is enough. There is no need to make it so expensive. That's fine. It was a warning to Wang Yang, letting him know that it was just luck last time. Chapter 44 Another salary increase. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The reply there said that the plan has been accepted, and the decoration fee will be paid in full to the company's account later, so that we can arrange workers to carry out the decoration as soon as possible. Wang Yang spoke quickly, feeling relaxed in his heart. Agreed. Chen Jun looked stunned and couldn't believe it. He bent down in front of the computer screen. After seeing the content of the email clearly, I felt bad. He always had a feeling that his many years of experience were of no use to Wang Yang. However, he was happy for Wang Yang that he could win this order. After all, it was already very powerful for a newcomer to win such a big order. He can get a lot of the 930,000 renovation fee just from the commission alone. It's okay, kid. You have to ask me to help you with this month's expenses. Chen Jun patted Wang Yang on the shoulder and said with a smile. Don't worry, Brother Jun, even if you don't tell me, I plan to treat you to a meal. Wang Yang chuckled, and he was telling the truth. He had already had the idea of inviting Chen Jun to dinner. After all, Chen Jun had helped him a lot since he joined the company. "Why are you so happy after get off work?" A slightly serious voice suddenly came from the door. "Hello, supervisor." When the two heard the sound, they looked over and found that it was the supervisor Chibu, and they all said hello. Chibu looked at the person, and then all his eyes fell on Wang Yang. "Xiao Yang, have you made the plan to renovate the dormitory of the clothing factory? This must be done as soon as possible. As time goes by, who knows what changes will happen. This list is not small. If you can win it, you will also have it. A lot of commission. Director Chi, the decoration plan has been finalized over there, and the decoration budget will be transferred to the company account later." Wang Yang heard Chibu's instructions and spoke. Suddenly he remembered that when he sent the plan to the garment factory this morning, he did not notify his supervisor Chibu. So much so that the other party still thinks that his plan has not been completed. Chibu frowned when he heard this. The company's normal process of decoration plan was to give it to him to review before sending it out. However, considering that Wang Yang was still a newcomer and not too familiar with it, he didn't say much, just gave an instruction. "Have you decided yet? That's fine. But next time something like this happens, remember to inform me in advance." "I understand, Director Chi." Wang Yang responded obediently. This matter was indeed his negligence. Seeing that Wang Yang had a good attitude, Chibu nodded with satisfaction. "By the way, what's the budget for your plan?" That this is related to the company's performance and is also linked to his monthly bonus, so of course you need to care about it. "Oh. It's 930,000. "How many?" 930,000. "If I remember correctly, weren't they renovating the staff dormitories?" Chibu asked with some uncertainty. "Would there be such a high budget to decorate a staff dormitory? This is not right." "Yes, it's the staff dormitory." Wang Yang nodded. Seeing Chibu's shocked look, Chen Jun secretly smiled. It turned out that he was not the only one who felt something was abnormal. I suddenly felt much more comfortable, so I stepped forward and explained why Wang Yang's budget was so high. "You're saying that all the materials used in this staff dormitory are from big brands? If that's the case, how can they agree to it?" Chibu was a little unbelievable. He had been working in a decoration company for so many years and had encountered many people who wanted to decorate employee dormitories. However, those bosses were all looking for a bargain. They could save $2, but they would never save $1. The basic requirements for dormitories are that they can accommodate people, and the quality and brand are not important at all. Don't even think about having a separate bathroom and air conditioning. This was all personally requested by the boss over there. Wang Yang affirmed. "This is the first time I have seen such a generous boss. I understand this. With a budget of 930,000 yuan, plus the previous renovation of more than 400,000 yuan, your performance this quarter has basically predetermined the quarterly bonus for this quarter. I'll apply for you later, and you keep working hard." Chibu looked at Wang Yang with a satisfied look on his face. Normally, a good decoration designer can earn 1.8 million renminbi per quarter. Wang Yang's 2 orders directly increased the sales to more than 1.3 million. If the designer hadn't suddenly taken over a particularly large order, he would have basically topped the sales list this quarter. The newcomer directly won the quarterly sales championship. If you tell me such a thing, no one will believe it. Of course, he does not reject this phenomenon at all. After all, his salary is linked to the company's entire performance. This quarter, with the support of Wang Yang's 2 orders, it is enough for him to rank among the best among several other branches. If several other designers work hard, maybe this branch of his company can also take the top spot in sales this quarter. "I will, Director Chi." Wang Yang straightened his chest and nodded. A few days later. "Mr. Chen, is the salary calculated incorrectly? Why is it 2,000 more?" Chen Mo looked at the transfer records on her bank card and spoke in confusion. Her salary was raised to 10,000 yuan. Logically speaking, after excluding taxes and insurance, there should not be more than 10,000 yuan. She also calculated specifically that, excluding insurance and taxes, her salary was exactly 2,000 yuan more. She had just called the company's finance department to ask if the salary was wrong, but the boss gave her that much on the salary slip. But she had also reviewed the salary slip, and it was exactly 10,000. Chen Mo looked up at Chen Mo, who came to ask, and suddenly realized. Oh, the extra 2,000 was changed by me temporarily. It was your bonus for this month. I didn't tell you and sent it directly to the finance department. Bonus? But I didn't do anything. But I didn't do anything wrong, did I? There was no mistake in the work, so shouldn't I be rewarded? And you are not the only one who got a bonus, many people also got one, so you don't have to be surprised. Chen Mo asked back. He would not say that there were more than 20,000 left in the system funds, and after thinking about it, he finally spent it all as a bonus. Looking at the system funds with only a few dozen left, he felt very comfortable. This time, the money was really smooth, and the system funds were spent early. At this time, there are still 10 days before the system settlement. As long as it continues, the 4 million system funds this time will definitely be fully converted into personal assets. Of course, we have to keep an eye on those guys. After Chen Mo left, Chen Mo leaned back comfortably on the gaming chair. After the system funds were used up, there was nothing to do for a moment, but he thought of the game Tianlong that he played some time ago. He bought the company that made this game, so it was no problem to ask Fong Chong for an internal account of this game. Thinking of the scene of being killed instantly by that local tyrant last time, the flame of revenge in his heart began to burn. He didn't believe that he couldn't beat the game even if he got the internal account of the game. Chapter 45. The game of losing money, of course, is to continue losing money. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mr. Chen, look for me. Fong Chong answered the phone and asked nervously. Well, the Tianlong game is produced by our company. Chen Mo asked. Fong Chong was shocked when he heard this, and thought to himself, Mr. Chen might not know about Tianlong's money loss, so he was going to ask him to accuse him. Fortunately, he had made preparations in advance, and he just needed to make an announcement to stop the service. Yes, Mr. Chen, but Tianlong has been losing money now, and I plan to stop taking it. Stop taking it? Why do you have to stop taking it? Chen Mo was shocked when he heard this. He wanted to stop serving such a good money-losing game. How could this be possible? Fortunately, he called and asked, otherwise he would have lost a lot of money if he stopped taking it. Mr. Chen, the game Tianlong has been losing money for a long time. The company has made some improvements in the past, but there has been no improvement. If we don't close the server anymore, we will lose even more money. Fong Chong opened his mouth to explain. No need, if you just shut down the server like this, what will happen to those people who are still playing the game? Those players who have already paid money will feel very sad. What will happen to the reputation of our game company like this? If the server is shut down because of losing money, will those players dare to play other games of our company? So we have to take a long-term view and don't give up the company's reputation just because of a temporary loss of money. Chen Mo racked his brains and finally came up with a reasonable excuse. Losing money is such a good thing, the more you lose, the better. Then you won't be able to surrender. Fong Chong asked tentatively. He really didn't understand what Mr. Chen meant. Of course you can't turn it off. You also need to give me an internal account of the game. I want the kind of magical outfit. Okay, Mr. Chen, I will give you the account number later. Fong Chong heard the words and hurriedly responded, hang up the phone. He called his deputy directly. After a while, there was a knock on the office door. Brother Chong, look for me. Zhao Bowen walked into the office, looked at Fong Chong and asked. Well, give me 2 of Tianlong's internal accounts. They are so awesome. What do you want a divine costume account for? Aren't you planning to shut down the server? Zhao Bowen looked puzzled. He had been busy shutting down the server in the past 2 days. No need to shut down. Fong Chong spoke softly. The server is no longer closed. That game has been losing money. It would be inappropriate to let Mr. Chen know that the company still has games that are losing money. Zhao Bowen looked worried. If any boss knew that his game company still had money-losing games, he would probably not look too good. It doesn't matter. It was Mr. Chen who raised the issue of not shutting down the server, and Mr. Chen also asked for the internal account. Don't Mr. Chen know that this game is losing money? I know, but Mr. Chen insists not to surrender. Fong Chang leaned back on his seat inside, thinking back to Mr. Chen's words just now. I couldn't help but admire Mr. Chen for giving up the company's profits for the sake of the company's reputation. Then Mr. Chen, what are you going to do? Zhao Bowen was a little puzzled. I don't know, but Mr. Chen wants the internal account of the game. He probably wants to experience the game and see if there is anything that can be changed. Fong Chang guessed, otherwise he really couldn't figure out what Mr. Chen would do with the internal account. Most of the time the game loses money, so I want to find a solution. Otherwise, he couldn't simply want to use an internal account to play games. He didn't believe that the boss of a company would have such leisurely intentions. If that were the case, the company would have lost money and would no longer be able to continue operating. There is no way for us professionals to save this game. Can Mr. Chen really do it? Zhao Wenbo couldn't help but have some doubts. Have no idea. Fong Chang shook his head. But Mr. Chen must have some ideas, otherwise he wouldn't ask for a game account. Changfeng Garment Factory, inside the office, Chen Mo had just downloaded the game Tianlong, and Fong Chang sent him the internal account number. Enter the account number and enter the game directly. Looking at the game character in the game account and the gorgeous equipment, he smiled slightly. No one can beat him now. He controlled the game character and swaggered into the wild, and soon came to the place where he was instantly killed by the rich man last time. He looked around and couldn't find the rich man last time. Since I haven't encountered any, I just randomly pick up monsters in the wild. This magical account is much better than my own account. Almost all the wild monsters I encounter are instantly killed. Damn it, there are fewer and fewer people in this game. I walked around for a long time and didn't meet anyone in the wild. It must be that the rich man was too excited to kill in the wild a while ago. In a rental house, a young man controls a character on his mobile phone out of boredom and wants to find other characters in the wild and kill them for fun, but after searching for a long time, I couldn't find it. What a crappy game. There aren't even any people around. Shouldn't it be shut down? Jiang Jiu swung the mouse hard and was about to log out and stop playing when he suddenly found a figure in the distance spawning monsters. Shuelua, I've never seen this ID before. I'm not from the Union, but it looks like the equipment is pretty good. No matter what you do, kill him first and then talk about it. Jiang Jiu's mind turned, and he directly controlled the game character to kill. Hey, someone is coming. Chen Mo was controlling the game character to kill people in the wild, and suddenly found a figure in the distance approaching him quickly. Before he could figure out what the other party was going to do, a skill had already been cast on him. Fortunately, this time it was a god-equipped account, otherwise he would have been killed instantly. Chen Mo instantly remembered the scene of being killed instantly and being ridiculed a few days ago, and his face was ugly. He took a look at the ID of the person who came and found that it was not the rich brother last time, but this was also important. This person did the same thing as the rich brother. His mind turned, and he directly controlled the character to kill the other party quickly. Oh my god, only one blood bar was lost. Jiang Jiu looked at the blood bar on the other party's head. After being attacked by him, it only lost one blood bar, in his heart, and I'm afraid only the top god-equipped account like the rich brother can make his attack only lose one blood bar. The person in front of him is a god-level account. This time he hit a wall. Jiang Jiu thought it was not good, and directly controlled his character to escape far away. Facing the god-level account, he was no match at all, so he had no choice but to run away. After a while, Jiang Jiu found that he had been blocked in a dead end, and hurriedly began to type for mercy. Brother, it was just a misunderstanding just now. Chapter 46, Mr. Chen is so dedicated. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Mo looked at the message of begging for mercy sent by the other party and smiled coldly. I finally caught one. How could I let you go? He used a skill without hesitation to hit the other party, and saw that the opponent's health bar dropped by a quarter. Can he kill him with 4 more attacks? In the rental house, Jiang Jiu watched the other party attack without hesitation, knowing that there was no possibility of begging for mercy, so he typed a series of words and sent them over. Brother, I am a member of the Tuheo Guild. You are equipped so well, Tuheo brother should know, right, that if soft tactics don't work, then you can only use hard tactics. Tuheo brother is very famous in this game, and he doesn't believe that the other party doesn't know the existence of Tuheo brother. Chen Mo was about to attack again when he found that the other party had sent another message, Tuheo brother. He suddenly remembered that the ID of the person who killed and taunted him was I am a Tuheo, so could they be the same person? After thinking about it, typed a question. The ID of the rich guy you mentioned, wouldn't it be called Lousy Tuheo? Soon, a message came from the other side. Yes, the ID is Lousy Tuheo. Since you know him, we are all friends. I am in the Tuheo Brothers Union. Friend? It took me a long time to find him. Chen Mo quickly tapped the keyboard and sent another message. Tell your rich brother not to come to the wild recently, otherwise I will kill him every time I see him. After the message was sent successfully, he did not wait for the other party to respond. After directly controlling the character to attack a few times, the other party's blood bar was directly emptied. He believed that as long as the other party conveyed this sentence to the rich brother would definitely come to the wild to find him. By then, his revenge is just around the corner. Damn it! Jiang Jiu looked at the gray screen computer and slammed the mouse hard, then he took out his mobile phone and made a call. What's the matter? The phone was connected, and a lazy voice came from it, as if he had not woken up yet. Brother Hao, I was killed in Tianlong. Who dared to kill you? Didn't they mention my name? Yes, but after they mentioned you, they killed me faster. They also asked me to tell you not to go to the wild in the future, otherwise they would kill me every time they saw me. Are you so arrogant? Do you know who it is? The voice on the phone suddenly became louder. I don't know. I haven't seen that ID, but the equipment should be the same as yours, Brother Hao, which is top-level god equipment. Okay, I know. Notify the brothers in the Union to gather in the wild tomorrow. If you dare to provoke me, even if you have a god equipment account, I will kill you without any mistakes. In a villa, Chen Song put down his phone and sat up from the bed. The number of online players in Tianlong game is getting smaller and smaller every day. Every time he wants to find someone to kill, he has to look for a long time. He has been planning to give up that game recently and is ready to find a new game to play, but the call from Jiang Jiu today made him interested. It was really interesting that someone in Tianlong was provoking him. Maybe it was the rookie who was killed by him before, and he wanted to get revenge by making a god-equipped account. Chen Song smiled faintly. This kind of thing happened a lot, but in the end, he always defeated him. This time, he defeated this person, and then uninstalled the game, which can be regarded as the last farewell ceremony. Brother Yan, I have an order. In the business office, Wu Yu hung up the phone and looked at Wei Yan with surprise. Just now, a customer called him and placed an order of 100,000 yuan directly. Oh. When will the contract be signed and how to transfer the money? Do you know about these? Wei Yan looked at Wu Yu and asked softly. They said that the contract can be signed tomorrow, but they haven't mentioned the payment yet. Then mention it when signing the contract tomorrow, otherwise it will be very troublesome to ask for money in the future. Okay, Brother Yan. Wu Yu nodded happily. He didn't expect that he would receive an order not long after joining the company. Wei Yan looked at Wu Yu's happy look and shook his head. This guy has caught up with a good platform. The company's clothes are now made of high-quality fabrics, and the price is still the same as before. The reason why it is so easy to get orders now is that Mr. Chen has used himself to exchange for it. If it is changed to other clothing factories, or similar sales positions, newcomers are very likely to have no orders for several months, but it is a good thing to have orders. Now the employees in the workshop are almost idle, and he has also recently negotiated an order. It is a big customer he has been following for a long time. If he gets it, it will be at least 500,000. Well. I will meet him today and it will be almost done. Mr. Chen, your coffee. Chen Mo brought the brewed coffee over. After a long period of observation, she found that Chen Mo drank a cup of coffee every morning, so this day, after she entered the office in the morning, the first thing she did was to brew a cup of coffee and send it to Chen Mo. Okay, just put it on the table. Chen Mo stared at the computer screen and nodded. After entering the company this morning, he went straight into the Tianlong game. I wonder if the man he killed yesterday has notified the rich guy. If he has, he will probably meet him in the wild today. Chen Mo saw Chen Mo staring at the computer screen without raising his head, so she took a curious look. She found that Mr. Chen was playing the same game again. Tianlong. She didn't know what the game was called before, but after Chen Mo acquired Sangxue Games, she carefully read all the information about Sangxue Games. She also found that the Tianlong game was developed by Sangxue. No wonder Mr. Chen had been playing this game before. It seems that Mr. Chen had planned to acquire this game company a long time ago. However, this game has been losing money. Mr. Chen wants to experience it himself and then improve it. Mr. Chen is really dedicated. I have to work harder, and I can't drag Mr. Chen down. Chen Mo secretly cheered herself up, quickly returned to her workstation, and started to work attentively. Chen Mo controlled the game character to come to the wild, and found that there were more people in the wild than before. He found the game players not far away, and as he continued to walk in the wild, he met more and more people. Brother Hao, Shui Luo's ID appeared. In the union group. Someone sent a message, I am a rich man, wait for us to gather over. Chen Mo walked a distance in the wild and found that someone had been following him from a distance. He had already guessed in his mind, this should be the rich man's man. He simply did not leave and waited directly in the same place. Sure enough, not long after, a group of people gathered. Chen Mo saw the ID of I am a rich man at a glance. This person not only killed him last time, but also mocked him. Finally found it. Chapter 47 Wei Yan, Mr. Chen has good news. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Brother, you are the one who killed my brother. Chen Mo found himself being pulled into a chat room, and the rich man asked directly in a typing voice, in response, that he was not polite and replied with 2 words directly. That's right. You have guts. If that's the case, I will beat you to submission first. I have never killed a God-equipped account before. The chat room was disbanded, and the team on the opposite side had already started to launch skills to attack this side. Chen Mo looked at the attack from the opposite side and was not panicked at all. The attack landed on him, and he only lost 1 or 2 blood bars. He took a medicine and recovered. It was no different from tickling, but soon he found something wrong. Among the several attacks, some attacks could actually knock off a small amount of his blood at once. The opponent also had a God-equipped account, and it was not just one. After figuring this out, Chen Mo didn't want to sit and wait for death, and was ready to take the initiative, but there were too many people on the other side, and it was impossible to find where the opponent's God-equipped account was hidden. Not long after, Chen Mo looked at the gray computer screen and mocked the private chat world face to face. He didn't expect that even if he got a God-equipped account, he would still not be able to beat the opponent. The main reason is that the opponent also has a God-equipped account, and there is more than one. Could he also get a few more God-equipped accounts? It should not be difficult to find Fang Chong for this, but who should he find to play with? It is definitely not okay to let employees play, as that will definitely be judged as a violation by the system. But if he finds someone to play the game by himself, where can he find so many people to play the game? This method doesn't work. Soon Chen Mo's eyes lit up. Since he couldn't find anyone to play the game, he could make a fuss about the equipment. Let Fang Chong develop a new set of equipment, which would completely crush the previous equipment in terms of numerical value. By then, he would only have a God-equipped one, and the opponent would have no way to deal with it. The more Chen Mo thought about it, the more possible it was. He picked up his phone and called Fang Chong. Morning, Mr. Chen, what do you want? Sangxue game. Fang Chong saw that it was Mr. Chen calling, and hurriedly answered the call. It's been a long time since the Tianlong game has updated new equipment. Yes, Mr. Chen. Since Tianlong has been in a loss-making state, after several adjustments, there has been no improvement, and the previous boss gave up updating equipment and props. And the company's current staff are working hard to make new games. If you want to make a set of Tianlong equipment, you will definitely assign some employees. In that case, the production progress of the new game will be greatly reduced. Fong Chang patiently explained that the game is already losing money. If you continue to invest in human resources to update new equipment and props, it will only lose more. This won't work. Without new equipment and props, how can the game stay fresh? Over time, some people will get tired of playing and finally choose to quit the game. How about this, you arrange people to develop a new set of equipment as soon as possible, and the equipment's values will be adjusted higher. It must be stronger than the previous equipment. How long can you get this request? Chen Mo persuaded step by step, and was even more happy in his heart. He could develop new equipment to avenge and delay the progress of developing new games. It really kills two birds with one stone. If you want to make it more refined, it will take at least half a month. Fong Chang thought for a while and said. The equipment does not need to be too gorgeous, just acceptable. The most important thing is the value of the equipment. Chen Mo thought to himself, he just wanted to regain his position with the new equipment. As long as the value is enough, the appearance and color are not important at all. Fong Chang was silent for a moment, not knowing what Mr. Chen was thinking, but still answered truthfully. If you don't consider the appearance of the equipment, it will be much faster. It will be ready in about a week. The most time-consuming part of making equipment is modeling. If the requirements in this regard are not high, it will save at least half of the time. Then it will take a week. Chen Mo heard this and finally nodded in agreement. He felt a little sad in his heart. If he was not anxious to regain his position, he would spend more time on the modeling of the new equipment. He might lose more money in this game. After hanging up the phone, Chen Mo looked at the gray computer screen again. He had just resurrected on the spot, and was killed again soon. After thinking for a while, he sent a message and quit the game. I have something to do. If you have the ability, we will play again in 7 days. Sangshui game. After Fong Chang hung up the phone, he called the heads of various departments directly. In 1 week, a new set of equipment was developed. Although the modeling requirements were not high, the time was still a bit tight, so he summoned everyone as quickly as possible and arranged the division of labor. Mr. Fong, what exactly does Mr. Chen think? Tianlong has been losing money all the time. There is no need to develop new equipment. And once we allocate people to make new equipment, the speed of developing new games will be greatly reduced. The head of the design department said puzzledly. I mentioned this to Mr. Chen, but unfortunately Mr. Chen didn't seem to take it seriously, so just listen to the arrangement. Fong Chang sighed. After all, Mr. Chen is the boss, and he can't disobey orders, and Mr. Chen should also want to save the game Tianlong, so just do what Mr. Chen said. Afternoon, garment factory, office. Chen Mo quit the game and lazily leaned back in his chair. Knock, knock, knock. The door of the office was suddenly knocked. Come in. Chen Mo looked up and answered, only to see Wei Yan walked in with a smile on his face. Seeing Wei Yan's expression, Chen Mo's heart skipped a beat. This traitor wouldn't make trouble again. Mr. Chen, there's a happy event. Wei Yan walked to the desk with a happy face and said mysteriously. Looking at Wei Yan's appearance, Chen Mo felt more and more uneasy. Well, what's the happy event? The new salesman Wu Yu has an order. Sure enough. Chen Mo sighed helplessly. He really had no way to deal with the order. He couldn't stop the salesman from running business for no reason. What a big order, that I just hope the new order is not too high. It's just a small order of 100,000, but it's a good start. There will definitely be bigger orders in the future. Only 100,000. Fortunately, if it's 100,000, I can spend it if I get something. Hearing the amount Wei Yan said, Chen Mo finally breathed a sigh of relief. 100,000 yuan is acceptable, but soon Wei Yan spoke again. Mr. Chen, Wu Yu's matter is just a small matter, there is a bigger good thing. What is a bigger good thing? Chen Mo's heart, which had just calmed down, was lifted up again. Looking at Wei Yan's expression, he always felt that this bigger good thing was definitely a big bad thing. Chapter 48 You got promoted. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hey, I accidentally took an order. Wei Yan smiled and scratched his head, his expression turned out to be a bit shy. How much? Chen Mo's bad premonition became stronger and stronger. No more, just an order of 1 million. How many? Chen Mo suspected that he heard wrongly. 1 million, but they are going to pay it in 2 installments. Tomorrow, 600,000 will be paid to our company account first, and the remaining 400,000 will be paid to our company account after we complete half of the construction period. Wei Yan looked at Mr. Chen's stunned expression and said with a smile. Mr. Chen, don't be too surprised. The main reason is that the fabrics used in our garment factory are much better than other garment factories, so at the same price, customers will definitely choose us. So being able to win this big order is actually all thanks to you, Mr. Chen. Is it Mr. Chen who has a far-sighted vision? Only good products will have good sales. So it's my fault. Chen Mo looked up at Wei Yan and said expressionlessly. Yes, if Mr. Chen hadn't decided to use good fabrics, it wouldn't have been so easy for us to receive orders. There is a certain reason why the newcomers can receive orders so quickly. Wei Yan said with certainty. I know this, please go out first. Chen Mo rubbed his head fiercely and waved his hand feebly, he just wants to be quiet now. In summary, the salesman is so good at running orders, so he has something to do with it. If I had known earlier, I would have been using the old rags, he had been wondering before. When he took over this clothing factory, there were basically no orders, but since he took over, the orders have begun to increase. This was the result of him blocking Wei Yan from running his business from time to time. If he hadn't stopped him, he would probably have even more orders. Today he finally found out the reason from Wei Yan, and it turned out that it had something to do with him too. But now it is definitely impossible to change the fabric back to the previous one. It seems that we can only make a fuss about the personnel. Wei Yan's business ability is too strong. He can no longer be allowed to stay in the sales department, but where should he be transferred to? Right, didn't Fang Chang say in the morning that he didn't have enough manpower there, so Wei Yan could be transferred to help. Giving an office director the position can be regarded as a promotion. If you give him a higher salary, he can't be judged as violating the rules. Sure enough, this idea did not receive a warning from the system. Since the system allows it, he is not polite, and he can finally get the rebellious Wei Yan out of the business department. Without Wei Yan in the sales department, no matter how good the quality of the clothes is, the number of orders cannot be increased by just one new person. Let me inform Wei Yan during the meeting tomorrow. Now let's think about how to spend the money that will be transferred to the account tomorrow. Wei Yan's 600,000 order, plus the newcomers 100,000, the total is 700,000. Sangshui Games has a total of more than 30 workstations, and replacing all the seats with new ones would require a budget of more than 300,000 yuan. In this case, there are still 400,000 left. Speaking of fabrics, there is not much fabric left in stock, so you can buy a batch. Just buy it for 300,000. The remaining 100,000 can be used to organize company team building to let people from the game company and clothing factory get to know each other. In this way, almost 700,000 can be spent. Chen Mo calculated it and found that the 700,000 yuan that was about to arrive was already secured. Fortunately, the company has many places to spend money, otherwise it would be difficult to spend the sudden extra money. What made Chen Mo even more relieved was that this time the order did not appear suddenly during the system settlement. Wei Yan, the rebellious boy, finally did some personnel work. On the second day, outside the workshop, Chen Mo watched the employees running with great interest, especially when he saw Wei Yan, Li Shen and others panting, and felt even happier. What a pity is that. If Wei Yan is transferred to Sangshui Games, there will be no chance to watch him run, but if you can get him to leave the business department, he won't run if he doesn't want to run. After all, if he was so tired from running every day, it wouldn't be enough to get him a $1 million order. So it's better to find him somewhere else quickly and make him less money, which is better than anything else. Soon, after finishing their run, the employees returned to the workshop and started preparing for today's work. Wei Yan, please come to the office later. Chen Mo looked at Wei Yan who had finished running and said hello. Okay, Mr. Chen. Wei Yan held his knees with one hand and responded quickly when he heard Mr. Chen's greeting, office. Chen Mo didn't wait long before Wei Yan came over. Judging from the other party's wet hair, he must have just taken a shower. Mr. Chen, what's the matter? Wei Yan looked at Chen Mo and spoke in confusion. You do it now, and we'll talk slowly. Chen Mo showed a kind smile and pointed to the desk and chairs in front of the desk. Wait until Wei Yan sat down and continue speaking. Wei Yan, you have been doing business in the company for a long time. I wonder if you have any thoughts of climbing up. Mr. Chen, I am just a salesperson. How to climb up the ladder? I just have to work harder and try to get more orders for the company. The more orders the company places, the more commissions I will get. Wei Yan showed a wry smile. He had not studied for a few years since he was a child and entered the society to work hard early. He couldn't do some technical work at all, so the sales threshold was very low, so he stepped into the sales path. From no orders at the beginning, he has accumulated a lot of connections and customers now, so it's not that he doesn't want to climb up, but he doesn't know what to do except the sales path. That's not necessarily the case. You should know that I acquired a new game company some time ago, and there is a shortage of manpower there. I plan to transfer you there to be the office director. What do you think? And don't worry, the salary will definitely be much more than what you earn now, and you don't have to meet customers every day. Chen Mo didn't beat around the bush and got straight to the point. Mr. Chen, I haven't been to school for a few years. If you let me be the office director directly, I don't know what to do. Wei Yan smiled bitterly. Chen Mo was secretly happy when he heard this. He didn't know what to do. If you knew everything, I wouldn't dare to let you go, thinking in his heart, but persuading with his mouth. That's easy. If you don't know how to do it, you can learn it. The internet is so developed now. You can watch online courses and improve yourself while working hard. And they are in urgent need of help. I don't feel comfortable hiring people now. I've thought about it for a long time. You are the only one who can make me feel most at ease, so I can only let you go over to help. Wei Yan listened to Mr. Chen's words, and his eyes gradually became moist. It was the first time that he was trusted by someone so much, and it was also the first time that he felt valued. Chapter 49 Crouching Dragon and Phoenix, a perfect combination. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Thank you, Mr. Chen, for trusting me so much. Then I will go there and give it a try. If it doesn't work, Mr. Chen can transfer me back at any time. I won't have any complaints. Wei Yan said gratefully. This is right, do it well. When Chen Mo heard Wei Yan nod in agreement, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. Wei Yan was finally transferred from the business department. That's it. You go back and have a good handover with Wu Yu. I will take you to the new company tomorrow. Okay, Mr. Chen. Wei Yan nodded, then stood up and left the office. Mr. Chen, if Wei Yan is transferred, it will not be good to leave only a new person in the business department. After Wei Yan left, Shen Ro came over with a cup of brewed coffee and said worriedly. It's nothing. Can this give the newcomers better training? If that doesn't work, just inform HR and ask her to find 2 salesmen. Remember, we need fresh graduates, not experienced ones. Chen Mo casually took the coffee handed by Shen Ro, took a sip and said nonchalantly, Wei Yan must be transferred anyway. If one new person doesn't work, then 2 more will be added. Anyway, the 3 newcomers combined are not as capable of causing trouble as one Wei Yan. Okay, Mr. Chen. Seeing Chen Mo's firm attitude, Shen Ro said nothing more. Mr. Chen must have a reason for doing this, but he just has too little experience to understand it. After all, from the time he met Mr. Chen until now, he has never seen Chen Mo make a wrong decision. Brother Yan, you are back. When are you going to go out to meet your clients? Let's go together. When Wu Yu saw Wei Yan coming back, he hurriedly asked. Wei Yan looked at Wu Yu, remained silent for a long time, and finally spoke slowly. Wu Yu, you may be the only one in the business department from now on. Brother Yan, what do you mean? You resigned. Wu Yu asked with confusion on his face. When Wei Yan heard this, he glared at Wu Yu angrily. You just resigned. I was transferred to another position, so you will be the only one in the business department from now on. But you don't have to worry, just run according to what I taught you. Be more diligent and take care of yourself. If you really have any problems that can't be solved, you can call me and ask me. I know, Brother Yan. Wu Yu nodded, and then looked at Wei Yan curiously. Brother Yan, what position have you been transferred to? The chief of staff of a new company. Wei Yan was halfway through talking and found that Wu Yu didn't seem to know that Mr. Chen had acquired another game company, and then explained the game company's affairs. It turns out that Mr. Chen still has a company. Wu Yu spoke in shock. What do you think? So work hard and maybe you will be promoted next time. Wei Yan showed an expression like a big brother lecturing his younger brother, and patted Wu Yu on the shoulder. On the second day, Chen Mo brought Wei Yan to Tsangshui Games. He had a phone call with them yesterday, so when they arrived at the company gate, Fong Chong was already waiting there. Mr. Chen, everyone is here. We can just go over and announce it directly. Fong Chong saw Chen Mo and others coming and hurriedly greeted them. Good. Chen Mo nodded, then pointed to Wei Yan aside and said. This is Wei Yan, the future office director. Hearing this, Fong Chong looked at Wei Yan for a moment, then extended his hand and said enthusiastically. Hello, Fong Chong, welcome. Wei Yan, please take good care of me in the future. Wei Yan shook hands with Fong Chong with a smile. Soon a few people came to the conference room, where the heads of all departments were already waiting. After some introductions, Wei Yan successfully became the office director of Tsangshui Games. His position was slightly inferior to Fong Chang's, and he was considered the company's second in command. This is just right. Fong Chong is very talented in planning, and of course he is talented in losing money, and Wei Yan knew nothing about this. It might be okay if he didn't intervene, but if he did, it might make the situation even worse. Crouching Dragon and Phoenix Chick, such a perfect combination. The company can definitely lose a lot of money. Okay, you can discuss the company's matters among yourselves, and I'll leave first. Seeing that the positions had been handed over, Chen Mo spoke at the right time. Anyway, with this pair of sleeping dragons and phoenixes here, he is full of confidence in this company. Just after taking a few steps, he suddenly remembered something. He also wanted to replace the desks and chairs here. He almost forgot, then he turned around and looked at Wei Yan and Fong Chong. I see that the desks and chairs used by employees to work are too worn out. How can this be done? Let's just replace them with new ones. Wei Yan, didn't you buy a batch of tables and chairs before? The tables and chairs from that store are good. Just buy them according to the configuration last time. Then you can calculate the amount and I will transfer the money directly to you. I understand, Mr. Chen. Wei Yan nodded quickly. He had helped Mr. Chen buy things countless times, so he was quite proficient in this aspect. Thank you, Mr. Chen. Fong Chong also said gratefully at this time. It was the first time for him to see such a good boss. He has also been to other companies and wants to replace tables and chairs, unless the tables and chairs are so broken that they cannot be used and affect his work. Wait until Chen Mo leaves. Fong Chong found out some of the company's plans in recent days and handed them over to Wei Yan. Director Wei, these are the company's plans and tasks in recent days. You can take a look and raise any objections at any time. Manager Fong is too polite. To be honest, I don't understand this aspect of the game at all, so for now I will just follow along and learn, and the planning will just follow the original plan. Wei Yan spoke slowly. Mr. Chen assured him that he had been transferred here. He did not dare to give orders at will. Moreover, Fong Chong and others are professionals, and their planning must be much better than his. Well, Director Wei, if you have any needs, you can ask me at any time. When Fong Chong heard Wei Yan's answer, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. He was afraid that the other party wouldn't understand anything and would give random instructions when he came up. Then all the efforts I have made before will probably be in vain. Do I really have a need? Wei Yan said a little embarrassed. When Fong Chong heard this, he felt relieved again, wondering what Wei Yan would ask for. Director Wei, please tell me, as long as I can do it, I will definitely do it. I don't know anything right now, so I thought about going to where the employees work and seeing what they do every day, and learning along the way. I don't know if this will affect their work. Wei Yan asked tentatively. He didn't understand anything now, so he could only learn from the grassroots level. When Fong Chong heard Wei Yan's request, he immediately relaxed and said casually. Director Wei, you can study casually and you won't disturb their work. And if you sit there, you might even play a supervisory role. That way, I'll feel relieved. Wei Yan was relieved when he heard this. He was really afraid that it would affect the work of his employees, and he would not know how to study. Mr. Chen transferred him here, and he must not betray Mr. Chen's trust. You must work harder to study. Chapter 50 Overtime. As my employee, how can you work overtime? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Several days passed in a flash. Outside the workshop, Chen Mo watched the employees jogging in the morning, but today he found that the employees were not very energetic. One or two of them were understandable, probably because they stayed up late at night, but now almost all of them looked listless, which made him feel something was wrong. After the employees finished running, Chen Mo directly called Li Shen over. Li Shen, what's wrong with those employees? Why do they all look listless? Mr. Chen, what are you talking about? Everyone has been working overtime these days, maybe they didn't get enough rest. Li Shen suddenly said. Overtime, why don't I know about this? Chen Mo was puzzled, but he never asked his employees to work overtime. Didn't Brother Yan take a big order? I'm worried that if this order is not completed, there will be other orders, so I asked everyone to work overtime to catch up with the deadline. In order to prevent all the orders from being gathered together and no one can handle it. This is what I decided yesterday, and I haven't had time to report to General Manager Chen. Li Shen straightened his chest, looking relieved. Chen Mo frowned when he heard this. He didn't expect that Li Shen, the sixth brother, would start to make trouble just after sending Wei Yan away. Overtime. What a hateful thing, isn't this forcing yourself to make more money? In my company, overtime is impossible, and you can't think about working overtime in this life. Not only no overtime, but also reduced working hours. Chen Mo suddenly found that the employees of this garment factory seemed to have no holidays. Since taking over this company, he has been working every day. I didn't care much before, after all, every small factory is like this. But that's other factories, his factory is different. There should be holidays. As long as there are more holidays, the factory will produce less clothes, and then its own income will also decrease. That's right. Why didn't I think of it before? Chen Mo's eyes lit up, looking at Li Shen and said slowly. Li Shen, I understand that you are rushing the deadline, but you can't occupy the employees' private space. Employees are also people. They have their own things to do after get off work, such as watching a movie, going shopping, or lying down at home when they are tired. After get off work, it's their own time. We can't deprive employees of their freedom for the sake of the company's interests. So, don't add this shift in the future. Li Shen listened to Mr. Chen's words and slowly lowered his head with a look of shame on his face. I know, Mr. Chen, I didn't think it through. But what if there are too many orders in the future? Your workshop can discuss this with the business. How much is the daily workload, and let the business side take orders according to this amount. Chen Mo said as if it was true. In his heart, he secretly thought that he was smart. This not only suppressed the production volume of the workshop, but also suppressed the number of orders for the business. The two combined. There is no worry about not losing money. But this will limit the number of business orders, which will indirectly reduce the income of the business. What can they do? This is not your concern. I will solve it. And you go back and inform the employees to come to the company lobby for a meeting later. Okay, Mr. Chen. Li Shen nodded and turned to enter the workshop. Company lobby. A group of employees gathered in the company lobby. You said that Mr. Chen called us to a meeting. What's the matter? I don't know. It won't be another welfare. It can't be a welfare. Mr. Chen has already issued a lot of welfare. The employees gathered together and talked in a low voice. Not long after, Chen Mo walked out of the office with Chen Mo, looked at the employees gathered in the lobby, and cleared his throat. Today, I called everyone here to talk about overtime and working hours. First of all, it's about overtime. You all worked overtime yesterday. I will ask Li Shen to count your overtime hours later. Then, you will be paid overtime pay at double the normal salary. After the voice fell, there was a warm applause from the crowd. Chen Mo smiled and continued to speak. But I don't advocate overtime. I advocate that everyone complete their wages efficiently and with high quality within the limited working time, so there will be no overtime in the workshop in the future. This is the first point, and the second point is the change in working hours. Before, everyone's working hours were 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. From now on, it will be changed to 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., with a normal rest at noon. A warmer applause sounded in the hall. After the applause faded, Chen Mo continued to speak. The next question is about workdays. I just learned about it. Originally, everyone had one day off. If you don't take this day off, you will get a 400 full attendance bonus. If you take a day off, you will lose the full attendance bonus. Is that right? Chen Mo asked. He just returned to the office and learned about this full attendance system from Chen Mo. Before, he knew that the company had a full attendance bonus, so he also mentioned the full attendance bonus. He really didn't know the specific details in detail, but after just learning about it, he found the problem. This system is not reasonable at all. It is said that there is a one-day holiday, but if you take a day off, then the full attendance bonus will be gone. This is not right. Normally, shouldn't it be that if you take more than one day off, you will not get a full attendance bonus? The previous boss was too calculating, and it was not a one-day off at all. Mr. Chen, that's right, that's right. Some employees heard Mr. Chen's question and answered actively. Chen Mo nodded when he heard it. I didn't know much about this system before, but today I found that it is unreasonable. So I decided to cancel this rest and full attendance. In the future, it will be changed to 2 days off on Saturdays and Sundays, and all statutory holidays will be rested. In addition, the full attendance bonus system, if you take a normal rest, the full attendance bonus will not be deducted. Only if you take extra leave in addition to the normal rest, the full attendance bonus will be deducted. After Chen Mo finished talking about the system of vacation and full attendance, there was silence in the hall. The silence could hear everyone's breathing. After a few seconds, there was an uproar in the hall, and everyone looked at Chen Mo excitedly. The expressions on their faces were all incredible. They didn't know how many factories they had worked in. There was no need to say much about the 5 insurances and 1 fund before. This year's 2 days off on Saturdays and Sundays, and normal rest on statutory holidays, this was something they never expected. Working in other factories, wanting the boss to give them a day off, that would be more uncomfortable than killing them. Even if there are no orders or work in the workshop, and you stay in the workshop cleaning, you will not be given a day or half a day to rest.